So today we will understand how to calculate the cash flow after tax. In the last class, we have understood the formula for calculating, or rather, we can say method for calculating the cash flow after tax. So how we were calculating the cash flow after tax? Profit before tax and depreciation, less depreciation, you will get the profit before tax. Okay, less tax, you will get the profit after tax. Then again add back the depreciation, you will get the CFAT. So in one place you are reducing the depreciation, we are finding out the profit after tax. Then again add back the depreciation, you will get the CFAT, cash flow after tax. That is the cash flow which is available after paying the tax. Now, why we are adding and reducing depreciation, this we have understood. One main reason is that depreciation is a non-cash flow expenditure, and second thing is that depreciation is a tax deductible expenditure. So these two things we have understood already in the last class. So today we will take an illustration, practical illustration on understanding how to calculate the CFAT. So this will be the basic sum which will be used for all the methods: payback, NPV, IRR, and PI. So let us understand how to calculate cash flow after tax practically. ABC Limited is evaluating the purchase of a new machine. So this is a capital budgeting decision. Purchasing of a new machinery is a capital budgeting decision with a depreciation base of rupees 1 lakh. So cost of your machinery is 1 lakh rupees. Expected economic life of the machinery is 4 years. Okay, and change in earnings before taxes and depreciation. This is your profit before tax and depreciation. First year 45,000, second year 30,000, third year 25,000, and fourth year 35,000. So this will be the profits earned before depreciation and taxation by your business, ABC Limited. Assume straight line depreciation, tax rate 20%. You are required to compute the relevant cash flow after tax. So how we can calculate the cash flow after tax? All the details are given. See, cost of the machinery is 1 lakh. Depreciable base means cost of the asset. And profits before taxes and depreciation is given 45,000, 30,000, 25,000, and 35,000 respectively for first, second, third, and fourth year. Depreciation straight line method and tax percentage is 20%. We have to calculate the cash flow after tax. How we can calculate cash flow after tax from the given details? So see, what is the steps for calculating the CFAT we have understood? First, we have to take the profit before tax and depreciation. In that, we will reduce the depreciation. Then we will get the PBT. From that, we will reduce the tax. We will get the PAT, profit after tax. Add back the depreciation. We will get the CFAT. So this is the structure for calculating the cash flow after tax, CFAT or CAFAT. See, what is the life of this machine? So 4 years. So we will have to calculate the cash flow after tax for each of the 4 years. How we will calculate? You can easily calculate by a tabular method. See how we will calculate particulars. Year 1, 2, 3, 4. So what we will take as the base? Profit before tax and depreciation, which is given in the question, no? Profit before tax and depreciation is given in the question. See, 45, 30, 25, and 35. Each of the 4 years. 45,000, 30,000, 25,000, and 35,000. Okay. So 45, 30, 25, 35. Now very important. Tell me what will be the depreciation. So depreciation method is a straight line method given in the question. how you will calculate the depreciation? What should be the depreciation amount each year? Yes, what should be the depreciation amount? Very simple. See, depreciation is a straight line method. So what is the formula for depreciation in straight line method? Depreciation as per straight line method is depreciation as per straight line method, SLM method, is equal to original cost divided by number of years. Okay, here if scrap value is there, that we can reduce, but in this question scrap value is not there. So original cost divided by number of years. What is the original cost? Rupees 1 lakh. And what is the number of years? 4 years. So each year you will have the same depreciation in straight line method. This we have learned from the 11th standard, that in straight line method your depreciation every year will be same only. So 1 lakh divided by 4, what will be your depreciation? It will be 25,000 every year, since this is a straight line method. So depreciation we have calculated 25,000, reduce it from the profit before tax and depreciation. So you will get the earnings before tax or profit before tax, you can call. Okay, this is a profit before tax. 45 minus 25, 20,000. 30 minus 25, 5,000. 25 minus 25, 0. And in the fourth year, 35 minus 25, 10,000. So this is the profit respectively for all the 4 years. So now tax is 20% given in the question. So you can take the calculate tax on this PBT, that is 20,000 into 20%. 20,000 into 20% for the first year, 5,000 into 20%, 0 into 20%, and 10,000 into 20%. So this will be the tax. PBT minus tax, we will get the PAT. Okay. PBT 20,000 minus 4,000, 16,000. 5,000 minus 1,000, 4,000. 0 minus 0, 0. 10,000 minus 2,000, 8,000. PAT, profit after tax. Then add back depreciation, same depreciation, 25, 25, 25, and 25. Okay, PAT plus depreciation will give us the cash flow after tax. So this is how you have to calculate the cash flow after tax. 16,000 plus 25,000, 4,000 plus 25,000, 0 plus 25,000, 8,000 plus 25,000. Okay. So this is the cash flow after tax. This cash flow after tax we will actually use in our analysis. Okay. Everybody understood how to calculate the cash flow after tax? So the first technique or basic technique of capital budgeting is the payback period method. Okay. Payback period method is a simple method of capital budgeting. So it is a formula based method. So payback period is equal to initial investment divided by the annual cash flows. Okay, initial investment divided by CFAT. So this is your payback period. Now very important, this formula can be applied only if the cash flows are uniform every year. Okay. So payback period method, formula is initial investment divided by the CFAT. And this formula can be applied only if the cash flow is uniform every year. Let us understand this with an example of a practical illustration. See, read this illustration. A project requires 25,000 as the initial investment. Okay, so to invest in that project, initially you will require 25,000. This is the investment you require for making in the project, and this project will give you 5,000 rupees inflow every year for 10 years. So today, if you will invest 25,000 in a particular project, this will be your outflow, and for 10 years you will get 5,000 rupees every year. So this is a case of an uniform inflow. This is a case of uniform cash inflows. So if you are making a 25,000 initial investment, you will get 5,000 inflow every year. So now in this case, you can apply the formula, because condition for applying the payback formula is inflow should be same every year. So in this question, they are told that inflow is 5,000 every year for 10 years. So we have to find out the payback period. How we can find out the payback period? Payback period formula is initial investment. Initial investment. What is the initial investment in this question? Initial investment divided by CFAT. CFAT is already given in this question. 5,000 is the inflow, and initial investment is how much? 25,000. So 25,000 divided by 5,000 will be our payback period. So what will be the payback? 25,000 divided by 5,000. It should be 5 years. This should be 5 years, not 5,000, 5 years. It is payback period, no? Period will be in years. Okay, now tell me whether you should invest in this project or not. So payback period we have calculated 5 years, and project is for 10 years. Whether we should invest in this project? Yes, we can invest in this project, because this 25,000 which you are investing, you can recover it in 5 years. This is the meaning of payback period. Meaning of payback period means what? This 5,000 which you have invested, this 25,000 which you have invested, you can recover it in 5 years. Remaining 5 years will be your profit. Understood? This project is for 10 years. So in 5 years, you can recover back your initial investment cost. So remaining 5 years will be your profit. So you can invest in this project. So this is the meaning or concept of payback period. So payback period will tell you in how many years you can recover your initial investment. Okay, all the remaining years will be your profit. Understood? So in this session, you are investing 25,000, clear, and 5,000 is your annual inflow, cash inflow, annual cash inflow. So 25,000 divided by 5,000 will be 5 years, clear. So remaining 5 years will be your profit. So out of the 10 years, you have recovered your cost in 5 years, entire cost. So remaining 5 years will be your profit. No? So you can say that you can invest in this project, you will get profit. Okay. So how you can solve? See, payback period is equal to initial investment divided by annual cash inflows. So payback period is 5 years. So in 5 years, you are recovering 25,000. Remaining 5 years will be your profit. No? 5,000 into 5 years, 25,000 will be your profit. So this is how you can understand payback period. So what we will do, we will stop here today. Uniform inflow case, how to calculate the payback method. In the next class, we will see how to calculate the payback period if the cash flows are not uniform. That is, every year cash flows are different. How to calculate the payback period if the cash flows are different? We will have to calculate using a table method. We cannot apply formula method if the cash inflows are different every year. Okay. So we'll stop here. Thank you, everybody.